Right. Oh, I'm in a bit of pain. My shoulder's completely gone a bit naff. I don't know if it's because of something or it's because I tried to do some press ups, but I didn't do many. So I don't know. Was it aching before? A little bit stiff, I was. Not aching, but now it's proper aching. So just realized my speaker's on. So I might not be able to play tonight. So, but there was one I wanted to try. I got a new keyboard, but it's smaller. And we did change the keys last night, but sadly, I found a really good map key button. So my Y key, but apparently it does your daily challenges. I made this on my 3D printer today. I did the eyes. I painted it with a little felt. So that took 4 hours and 51 minutes. Can you see it? I don't mean to be rude. But yeah, we had a comment yesterday. Somebody was saying like, "Oh, stop complaining" or something, and I was asking Lewis to be in line of sight with me. He was up on a roof and he wasn't helping me in a little one moment. He didn't have a gun, but he did have thermite. He did have rockets, and you can also punch. And then there was a couple more times he was overextended away from us, so I can't help him, and he's no way he can help me. And I was in 2v1s quite a few times. Obviously, he's got more mobility; he can fly around. So somebody put in the comments, "Stop complaining." Lewis is sorry, Carlisle is got really good positioning. He's just flying around. That is not a good position. He's just flying around. So that's not an offense to anybody. That's not offense to Lewis. When you're flying around, you're not in a position. You're just flying around. Do you know what I mean? That's not a position. So obviously, what I do is I try and teach people to be in the line of sight of each other. Yeah, so you can help each other within say 5 or 10 seconds, and then you're always in more or less. You're in a 2v1. If you are in a 2v1, you've got a chance because your teammate's going to help you within say 5 or 10 seconds. If you play the other way where you're approaching enemy, most people in this game will overextend from their squad. So because you're tight knit and you're in each other's lines of sights, or at least one of your teammates' lines of sights, you will delete one of their players in their squad immediately, and you're in a 3v2 straight away. Then you can finish the squad, and then you're not third partyable as much because the fight is quicker. When your teammates overextend from their squad and start a fight without you, the enemy now shore up their positions, yeah, which makes the fight last longer, and now you're third partyable. And usually, you know what the randoms are like, they'll even shoot at height advantage players. So it takes a bit longer to push the height advantage players if your teammates aren't with you. By the time they get there, now you've got to push the height advantage players, and now the height advantage players, maybe one of them is looting the building and he's not ready to help his teammates, but now your teammate who's overextended from his squad has shot at the enemy, alerted them to the position of an enemy, and now the one who's probably looting in the bottom floor is now at the top supporting them. Do you know what I mean? So they've made the fight harder. It's just stuff I've been going on about in my stream for years. And obviously Lewis, when Lewis used to play with me, Carlisle, he didn't want any coaching, so I was never able to teach him this stuff. I don't force coaching on anybody, but when it's on my tips channel, I speak about stuff. And that's what my tips channel is about, or coaching channel, whatever you want to call it. And then somebody who's never spoken on my stream ever before put that negative comment up saying, "Stop complaining. You need to work on my positioning," or something like that. I'm the one who's in 2v1s, trying to do what I can in a 2v1. So anyway, Lewis, listen to what I said. And the next two games, we came fourth and we won. And we had a pretty good game on the second game. And it was because we were doing teamwork and we were in lines of sights. And Lewis was playing well anyway. Do you know what I mean? Lewis is a good player. That's Carlisle. Is a good player and a good communicator anyway. People do learn stuff off my stream. I do teach communication on my stream. I do teach some teamwork basics, height advantage and things like that, and head glitching. But obviously, being in the line of sights of your teammates is the difference between a good squad and a squad of randoms. So that worked yesterday. Check yesterday's stream. I've timestamped it as well. So if you look in the little red bar at the bottom, you can click the parts that I'm on about. Plus, with teamwork again, me and I forget what the legend's called. I'm going to load the game, but I'm not going to be able to play. My shoulder is really aching. So I don't know what the legend's called. Might be the one that gives you shields from distance. So me and that legend, we helped a Revenant get 15 kills. So the Revenant got 15 kills. Somebody on the outside would look at that and say that Revenant carried him. No, we helped that Revenant get 15 kills. Watch the gameplay. That's also in the timestamps as well. All right? So that's what teamwork can do for your team in this game. Got a lot of players running around trying to get 20 kill badges and 4k damages badges, and they're overextended from the squad. They're playing like a bit like a headless chicken, playing a kind of solo mentality. Yeah. And a lot of people are struggling getting these badges. Well, if you actually did some teamwork, people can help you get these kills and these damage badges, because you will be getting revived, respawned, and you'll survive situations that you won't survive as a solo, because I'm shooting them, and you're surviving because I'm shooting them, which is giving you a chance to pop your batteries, giving you a chance to pop your Phoenix kits, was giving you a chance to reset in the fight, and giving you a chance to get back in the fight to keep getting more damage and get more kills. So it does work, and we proved it on the stream last night. Okay. So apart from that, I've done a 3D print today. I tried to do some exercise. I walked on my treadmill twice. I've been out on my bike, but I couldn't do any more press ups. It's proper aching. So I've come on. I want to try some on the firing range. I got a new keyboard. It's a tiny bit smaller, but I still got to play with the keys. I'm really gutted. Does anybody out there who maybe watches as a playback, when you hit the map button, top left-hand corner, it says daily challenges, and in there it's set to the Y key. Is there any way I can remove that Y key? Because I want to use that Y key for my map button. And I couldn't do it. I found a decent map button last night. I thought, yes, but it lets me open the map, the Y key, but won't let me shut the map, the Y key. Because I guess when you're in the map, it wants to do the daily challenges of which you're in the map. So I couldn't shut it, and it was just so annoying. Like, do you know what I mean? I finally found a decent key. So I might put my balloon on that key, maybe, because it's easy to press, and ballooning and respawn points are really important, you know? I'm a mentality of, like, wherever you're playing controller or whatever, you want to keep your movement. So you need your fingers for your movement, and the other ones do the important stuff. So I got some pedals and all that. Like, I'm still struggling with it. It's only a cheap keyboard, 20 quid. I want to buy one of these more expensive keyboards and be able to, like, weapon switch with one key. So I don't know who that is. Dodd. I don't know who you are, buddy. So let's load my restream up. I just wanted to say that, and that's no offense to Lewis. Lewis is a good player, and he's a good team player, right? He communicates. That's the most important thing about a team player, all right? So if anybody watches that, you know, it's nothing to do with Lewis. Lewis is a good player, right? Okay. So it's just about the person that was in my chat giving me some shit, and it's like I just proved him wrong. We had somebody give me some shit a week ago. I don't get many people chatting me chat, so all they give me is shit, and I go and prove them wrong all the time. So they never sit around and wait for him. I did actually get rid of that kiddie yesterday, no offense. You know what I mean? So we'll be doing subscriber only mode from now on to try and avoid some of the negative comments. So if you want to comment, you're gonna have to be a subscriber. You know what I mean? And then you've waited 10 minutes to be able to say something, not just watch 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes of me or an hour and that's it, and you're judging me on that. Judge me on being what I do and what I've done in the past. You know what I mean? I've done this for 20 years, and this works in all games. You know what I mean? So this works in COD, this works in Counter-Strike, this works in Apex, this works in whatever. You know what I mean? It's a simple way of playing, and it works. It's an easy way to rank up. It's an easy way to get kills, survive fights. Easy way not to get third party so quick, because your fights are quicker. I'm trying to get the restream open so I can see chat. Right, chat's open. That's that done. So I'll reiterate that again. Lewis, no worries with Lewis. You know what I mean? He didn't have a gun. He couldn't help me in one of the moments, but you still got a fist. You still got a thermalite. You still got rockets, and you can still be bait. That's what I do for my team, people. If I ain't got a gun, I'll stand there and I'll punch them, or I'll stand there and take damage from them so they can reload their guns. You know what I mean? It's called teamwork, people. It really does work. I don't know who this guy is. So. Right, so that's that done. My headset's gone flat again. We've got to get in the habit of charging it up. We need a new one, as you can probably tell. All the stuffing's coming out of it. We're still waiting for TikTok. What do they call it? Being accepted to TikTok.
Gold PLZ, Gold PLZ, Gold PLZ.
So that's what we're waiting for. Gold. I don't know what it means. Sorry. Right. Let's do. Is that Twitch? Is it? Are you actually
What's going on here?
Are you a real Twitch person? Or are you trying to sell me art? We had a real Twitch person the other week. Somebody talked to me on Twitch for the first time in a very long time, who actually was interested in watching the stream, not trying to sell me art. Forgive me if you're not trying to sell me art. I've got such a bad experience with Twitch for like 7 months straight of just people trying to sell me art. But hello, whoever you are. I am trying to put my subscriber only mode on to make sure we don't get any of the trolls, toxics, whatever you want to call it. So give me a sec. How are you anyway, whoever you are? I can hear the text-to-speech in my ears, but I can't see the name. So forgive me if I'm not saying your name yet. I will be soon. I've just put my subscriber-only mode on to stop some of the plonkers. So, do 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 do. Uh, mm, live. Let's have a look. Show more. Customization. We used to have to do this when I played ranked because your randoms, because I have my name as miL's Tips Live, they would join and abuse you when they were dead and you're still alive trying to keep the RP going. Do you know what I mean? So I used to have to do this for 20 minutes so they wouldn't be able to type for 20 minutes and I could finish my game without them abusing me. So saving it now. Right, we are in 10 minutes subscriber only mode. All right, we don't get enough messages on here, and when they are, the last 2 messages I've had from people I don't know have been negative, and I've proved them wrong within a game or two. So my stuff works, people, and it works for everybody, not just a few. Remember that. This works for everybody, not just a few. Not just the ones that have got high-level brain game sense and reaction times and all that, and they're playing with high-level players. This works for low-level players. Guaranteed. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, baby. It's a guarantee. You can't get that much on the internet, do you, from somebody who's coaching? I guarantee you the stuff that I teach works. Or coach, whatever you want to call it, the tips I give. So let's give myself a thumbs up. Here we are, sorted. Hello there, Gold. How are you? Or Blair. How are you, Blair? How's it going, Blair? Right, so that's that done. I'm always introing now at the beginning of the stream. Right, so yesterday I said about his Watson had uploaded video saying playing safe won't get you anywhere. You need to really push fights and all that to get more skilled or something like that, yeah. And then he come out with his next video that I saw was when I know I'm playing against a good player, I play safe. So do you know what I mean? This is why I don't recommend you just go around like headless chickens because you're just going to create bad habits. And then when it comes to play against top teams or good players or good squads, you need to know how to play safe. You know what I mean? So you need to be able to do both. So that's why I teach a bit of like positioning, a bit of communication, a bit of pinging before you start your fights, head glitching, height advantage, things like that. You know. So no offense to his Watson, I do like him. I think he's one of the better, more productive content creators from the pro scene. Does that make sense? But that only go by what's on my YouTube. But I've seen other people's tips from a high level, you know, the pro side, and it's not great. It's not much use to anybody. Usually they just say push more fights, you know what I mean? Or that's about it. So we're always going to do that in our intros, people. So that's not done. Need me food now. My shoulder's been aching quite a bit, so we're a bit stuck, people. Oh my gosh. So we had 2 people. I don't know. Maybe we didn't. I think we did. We had 3. So we did have somebody join straight away and watch the stream open. We didn't say hi though. So somebody's a subscriber because they're seeing the notification, but they're not saying hi. I don't know who you are. We've got a couple of silent viewers. We don't seem to have any chatters. But obviously, I talk about teamwork on here, and I'm a bit anti-damage. You know, if you look at high-level players and they're playing at high level, they don't end up with 4Ks. You know what I mean? It's 2,000, 3,000 damage if they're playing master rank, yeah, or whatever. But when it comes to ALGS, the damage goes down because money's involved. So that's the kind of right way to play. I try and teach people fundamentals, the core bit of the game, yeah, of any game. And then when you want to add your wall jumps into it, and you want to add your tap strafes into it, and you want to send, you know how to send. You understand to approach the fight out of line of sight. You don't shoot too early. You ping. You wait for your teammates. You try and flank the enemy if your teammate's going left, and you try and go right. You support them if you're a little bit behind. You support them with nades. You know that's what I teach. All the kind of fundamentals. I'm not shitting on anybody. I actually like his Watson. He's done some actually good tips. Find yourself somebody to play with that works on their gameplay. And a lot of people on this game don't work on their gameplay. They just put their mics on and moan at the person they're playing with at that time instead of realizing what they did wrong. Why did you start the fight without your teammates? You know what I mean? So you're just approaching the fight, your teammate's already dead. Now he's got his mic on and he said, they're both one shot. Well, why did you start it without us? We could have deleted them really easy. You know, why didn't you just be patient and look at your mini map and see that we're so far behind you? It's going to take us a while to get there. We're not Pathfinders. We're not Octanes. Just simple things like that I teach, okay? I bite with that side, so I'd use my fingers though. The subscriber only mode should be on. I hope. Yeah. So that just gets rid of some of the negatives that are coming in here just to try and drop hate, basically. That's all it is. Do that more often now. So if you really want to put some hate, you're going to have to subscribe. Plus they can watch for 10 minutes and then see before they try and dig holes in it. I'm a coaching channel, I'm a tips channel. My job is to give tips, yeah? It's not a, what was it? Solo into pred channel, solo into master channel. When you just play with people and you'll get there a lot easier without all the stress. Well, if you ever want to play the game properly and you want to go scrims and you want to go higher up in prep instead of just being a tree rat and not helping your team, yeah, you'll be ready for it and you'll be prepared. You'll be able. Hiding in a tree, getting your rank up as a predator just to be a prep, and then you're a predator, and then another predator wants to play with you, and he wonders why you can't win any fights because he's got no cohesion with his team because he's been playing rat in trees for 6 months straight just to get the predator tail or whatever it's called, the predator badge. Obviously, I spent a lot of time on console, so I'm new to PC. The player base is slightly different, but it's not massively different. But it is slightly different. I think I'm enjoying the experience on PC probably definitely 10% more, maybe 15, and it could be 20%. I've had a few people in the last week that I've played with. I think it's more ranked. They've been pinging that, like I said, they've overextended from the squad, but instead of starting the fight, they're pinging where the enemy are and waiting for you to catch up. That's very rare on console. Very rare. You know what I mean? That is very rare. I find it frustrating because so many people have been struggling to get into Diamond or are struggling to get out of Diamond. Now, I used to get into Diamond quite easily. Getting out of Diamond's different. It depends on the randoms they give you. You know what I mean? And playing on console, we don't get the benefit of the sniping abilities and the attack nade abilities that PC players get because we've got to use a controller. So if you're trying to like third party from range and just get a cheeky pit without dying, you're on your own. Your teammates are dead. Usually, my experience on ranked was my teammates were dead before top 15. I try and get their banners as best I could. You couldn't craft back them, and then I'd have to play all the rest of the game against free stacks and duos. It was hell, and I had a lot of lag as well. And I wish I could snipe and get that kind of long range. You know, you see a fight happening and you can just get a knock in that fight from long range without overexposing yourself. And you can pick up a couple of, definitely 1 KP a game, I would say, playing like that. And then with a couple of kills at the end or 1 kill at the beginning with your randoms and before they died, you've got 3 kills. And that's enough to usually get you to master. Do you know what I mean? It gets you definitely into Diamond. It gets you up to probably Diamond 3, Diamond 2. You know what I mean? It all depends on the way they change the rank points, you know? So, does anybody out there understand this ranked ladder stuff? what it actually means. Apparently, I was placed 71, but what does that mean? 71 on my friends list? What does it mean? I don't know what it means. Mm. Mm. We're trying to set my buttons up. So I've got a new keyboard. I changed my buttons last night. Thought I had a good map button, and then the map button won't allow me to use it because it's set to something in the game, so I can't use it. So then I changed my keys back, and my keyboard's broke anyway. So I bought a cheap one, and now I'm thinking about changing my keys back. I just want one of those expensive keyboards, but I can't find the right one. Like they're about £100, and you can press the key and it'll do two things. You know what I mean? That's what I want. One of them. Because I'm not weapon switching much. If anybody watches me since I've been on PC, I'm not weapon switching much. Whereas before on console, I think it was weapon switch and get your gun out was the same button. I think. Don't quote me. What else? I think it's a pepper ball. Yeah, it is. We're gonna. I want to load it because I've already loaded this game, haven't I? Never mind. So we're just waiting for the TikTok application to go through, and then we can start getting some views. And we need to change our name on the YouTube back to miL's Tips in the game. So the game is whatever that says, Richard. Because that's obviously the reason I won't get any views. I was getting probably 30 views a day from playing the game because people would join because you got live in your name. But if you ain't got your name set as your YouTube channel, you ain't going to get the view. And I used to give tips on my randoms a lot. So obviously they wouldn't subscribe because they would hear it when they joined the stream afterwards. So they'd hear what I was saying about the random. You see, look, he overextended from us. He started the fight too early. Look, he didn't use height advantage. Look, he didn't use a head glitch. Look, he didn't communicate. You know what I mean? He's put his mic on at the end of the fight when everybody's like, when he's knocked, and then he said they're one shot, but we're still like 30 meters away. You know what I mean? It's pointless now. They popped the battery. So they hear that, they don't subscribe. So my mentality was now, when I change my name, I won't be doing that anymore. All right? It's an easy way to get subs. I was never about getting subs. You know what I mean? It was about giving tips. You know what I mean? So I know if I want to be crafty, when I'm streaming with my name live in the game, I'm going to get views. I could be crafty and I could just say nice things about my randoms and I can get subscribers. You know what I mean? I don't like being crafty, but I could be. Unlucky, mate. GG. Even though they just got you all killed. You played well, mate. Ha! Well, I'm definitely subscribing to you. It's sad how gaming is. If you play well, they want to add you as a friend. If you don't play well, they don't want to. So if you win, they'll add you. If you don't win, they won't. You'll play with them afterwards, and if you lose early, they'll leave without telling you cheerio that they don't want to play with you anymore. I'm not that guy. That's why my tips channel is what it is, and that's why my banner says what it is. You know what I mean? If you actually listen to my tips, when you take them on board, no one will call you a noob. People will want to play with you, but you've got to listen to my tips. And sadly, when it comes to coaching, you've got to say negative things to somebody about their game to help them improve their game. It's horrible. I don't like doing it, but it's the only way to change them. Somebody years ago said to me, "What? I thought, do you know what? I might have got you wrong. I thought you were like toxic coaching. You're like a toxic coach. What do you want me to do? I can't rub their belly for them. They're not going to get any better. I'm supposed to be helping them from getting bullied on a game. So they get better, and then they don't get bullied. You know what I mean? or they get the confidence to use their microphones because they're worried about things, that somebody can make fun of their voice. So I have to give them a thick skin. You know what I mean? I have to teach them what to do and what they're doing wrong, and that means I've got to keep repeating it until they change. Somebody I was coaching years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever it was, kept looting all the time. Looting. You're spending, let's say you're doing 2,000 hours a year. You're spending 500 hours a year looting. You are wasting 500 hours of game time of learning how to fight, or learning how to use a gun that you don't prefer, or learning how to use a gun that only has 15 bullets because it doesn't have a magazine in it. Do you know what I mean? So you got to moan until they change. You know what I mean? That's what coaching is. You know what I mean? And they obviously looked at that as toxic coaching. I don't know how, but hey. And when people finally listen to me and they change, I will keep saying it until they change. And when they change, it's totally different. Everything I said is right, but you look bad when you're doing it, which is sad. I don't like that. But hey, how else you supposed to do it? I could do it in videos, but I don't get enough views. Do you know what I mean? And is it about views? You know what I mean? If you get 10,000 views, yeah, it's worth it. But if you're only getting 700 views and you're getting 10 likes, it's a waste of time. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather do it on the channel and help individuals now and again. Like, so somebody on the channel now has been invited to play with Predators, and he's joined a Discord server. He's been watching me on and off for years. He's only got 2,000 hours in the game, and they did say to him that what was it? I can't believe you've only played 2,000 hours, and this is Predator, you know what I mean, or whatever. He's been on my stream for years, and he's been listening. He wouldn't let me coach me, but he was taking on board what I was doing. And I think he's one of those where you can see what I'm doing. Look, the angle, the egg glitch, the timing. Do you know what I mean? The patience sometimes. You know what I mean? Not wanting to just be the kill leader and playing the fight smart. Shifting position to cover your teammates or in bad positions, using your all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? The way to play the final. I'm pretty good at the final rings and all that. You know what I mean? I know when I should shoot, when I shouldn't shoot, when I should shift. You know what I mean? Shift spots. I've always got a plan. A lot of people, they just play from this moment only. I've got a plan ahead. Do you know what I mean? I always had a three plan. So I'm going to go there. When that goes wrong, I'm going to go there. And when that goes wrong, I'm going to go there. I got three options. And other people don't have that. They just go to one spot. That's it. Things go wrong and they try and fight their way out of it. You should be doing that at Final Ring. You should be trying to, if you're solo. That's what I'm trying to say. When you're a solo, you know what I mean? I taught somebody that and he didn't understand it. I said, look, right, take us to this fight. You're a Wraith. Take us to right. Well, what should I do with it? Well, put the portal there behind that box so no one can see it. Put it close to the fight, yeah? Where you know where it is. You're a voider. You can void back to it and get in it. So you don't want it too close. When you void, you're going to be stuck in the room, voided. And they're just going to be waiting for you to come out your void next to the portal, and they'll be blocking the portal and stuff like that. So you've got to play the tactics, the chess side of it. Like, do you know what I mean? And then I was playing with him. I was dead in the game, and I was spectating him. And he said, "Right." He said, "What should I do?" I said, "Right, I have a plan. Right, where are you going to go next?" I'm not telling him what to do. Where are you going to go next? Right, I'm going to go to that tree because there's a free stack there, and they're having a fight with them there, and I'm on my own. So right, so you're going to go to the tree, and right, what happens if it's going to go wrong? What are you going to do next? And I taught him that, and he ended up coming like second, whereas he would usually come fourth. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I do on my channel. I teach you all the fundamentals that most streams or channels aren't teaching you. And I can keep repeating some of this stuff at the beginning of the intro because I haven't done intros for ages and ages. And I know once I get on TikTok, we're going to get more views. Shorter, man, you won't believe it. Oh my gosh. So we've got a new keyboard. It's a lot smaller. So we're going to figure out the keys. I'm really gutted about that Y key because that was a really good key. I might have to set it to something else, but I got to figure out what. Maybe I can make it my Nade button and then take the Nade off the pedal, and then I can use the pedal for something. Oh my gosh, people of the world, the pain. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. going to practice some up tonight. I've seen a video today. It was nice and short. And it was really well explained, and he didn't get many views. Do you know what I mean? Some content creators that are getting loads of views, and they're just useless. You know what I mean? This kiddie's like, he only had like 20 thumbs up on this thing. It was amazing. Do you know what I mean? Even somebody I was watching it and going, he's explained this really well. A bit like my head glitching video. Really well explanation. Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm like thinking, yeah, that's a really good explanation. This is, how many views has he got? Not many. And I looked down at the comments and somebody writ what I said. It's ridiculous. Like the real decent, it's real good video it was. Doesn't get the views. It's terrible. That shoulder's killing people. Some up. I've got different glasses on today. Shoulder's aching that much, people. I'm not going to be able to do much, so just come on here, do me intro, have a go on this keyboard, see if I can maybe play with the buttons again, get it back to where it was. Oh no, I don't want the box. Save. Settings. Oh, go on, they're not shooting me, are they? I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta watch the video again. So, I don't know what the word is called, but you get on here and then you jump right up. So obviously zip lines I used to, because I stopped practicing the game like 4 years ago. It was pointless with the randoms. I thought, well, I'll just give tips on fundamentals. They're all missing it. So, but obviously I used to just do this. I got the zip line and maybe go like to the left or to the right, which people can figure out. You know what I mean? And then there's obviously this new jump that you can just mantle and go really high up in the air. So, and then you can turn around and shoot it. So I wanted to do that just to make my approach on a rope give me 3 options, basically, because I've only got like the 2 at the moment, which is left and right. And obviously the obvious one is going forward, which is going to get you in trouble. So that's all, basically. I thought I'd have a go at it. How you do it. So I'm just testing out. Remember, go up, mantle, but then look down or something. Move my shoulder. And I will be mentioning famous people in my streams now. You know what I mean? I never used to. I thought, well, I won't say nothing. I don't want to get any hate back from their viewers and all that. But I got to use other people's content to explain the things that they're not explaining. You know, they're not experienced at giving tips. They're not experienced at playing as long as I've been playing. Do you know what I mean? They're experienced in this game, but these sort of players at the beginning were making the same mistakes that the randoms were making, but they had the common sense, the game sense to understand that you got to put your gun away. You got to do out of that edge. You got to use an egg glitch. You got to control space. They got that common sense. A lot of players haven't got that, and I want to teach the common sense to players. The game sense, you know what I mean? If you want to call it that. And then the chess side of it, I want to teach the players. And you got better players, you know? You got better player base, that means you got a better game. This game definitely is better on PC. Playing in gold was feeling a bit like diamond when it come to the amount of squads that were alive. I wouldn't say the skill was that, but it kind of was reminding me of console on diamond, because console is just headless chickeny until you get into diamond, then you start actually getting the odd okay teammate. I've been crafted quite a few times. I've been revived a few times now. I've had teammates ping before they want to start the fight, which I did get now and again on console, but not nightly. I've had it maybe once a night. I get this on PC, but on console it was go weeks without somebody pinging before they start a fight. You know, maybe not weeks, but a week or 2. It's a long time, people, when you're playing 7 nights a week. It's not normal. No, don't get me wrong. We all have bad nights. You know what I mean? It's not about moaning at everybody. It's just like I had bad nights. You know, sometimes I wanna Sometimes I feel more aggressive and I want to be more aggressive because I've been annoyed by my randoms 3 games before. Sometimes my randoms have been dead at top 18 5 games in a row and I've got pissed off, so I start playing a bit more safer because I don't want to keep losing RP, you know? And I'm an experienced player. I know when you should approach a fight, when you should shoot, when you shouldn't shoot, and stuff like that. And the randoms don't know that. And I'm sitting here suffering with randoms giving your position away because they're shooting their gun off. You know what I mean? So you're like, say that's the enemy there, right? And they ain't looking your way, but you've seen him. He's looking that way and shooting, and I want to approach, yeah, to get near, to get the element of surprise in. So now I stand a chance. If he wants to do me, he's got to peek down. My teammate can shoot him, yeah? Now I got a chance up here to get up here now. But with the randoms, this is what they would do, and they still do it in the game. Not as much on PC, but it's still pretty bad. When I'm here in, I would class this as no man's land. I have no angle, right? My teammate would say be here, right? And he would start shooting at that player. Now he'd alert him to our presence, and now he's doing me while I'm in the open because he's shooting whatever he can see the easiest. This is the problem with the player base. Shoot too early due to brainwashing of the damage badge. Let's just call it that. That's the way I look at it. They got a bad habit of shooting everything they see due to the damage badge. You know what I mean? If you want a damage badge, fair play. You know, I'm not trying to put it down, but I'm trying to understand, you know, when somebody's trying to approach in the open like this to gain an advantage in a fight, and you're ruining it for them by shooting too early, that sort of stuff, you know? The basics, the fundamentals that a lot of people don't have on this game. Where's me restream gone? I might have closed me restream by accident. Forgive me if somebody said hi. No one said hi. We're not on thingy. Are we on thingy? Yeah, right, so we'll close that down. There we are. Is that done? Oh, people. Oh my gosh, my shoulder.
So you guys have some stock.
Have some stuff. No, I know, dude, mate. It's the internet, mate. It's one of the easiest things to do on the internet, isn't it? I'll find that video. Oh, sugar, it's a bit loud. Better turn it down. I want to get in trouble for plagiarizing somebody's content. We've already got somebody copying my content as it is. To prove it, eh? What we got to do? Record the video and all that, and the timing of my video the day before and their video the day after, and the kind of slight similarities that's going on. You know what I mean? You got silent viewers; they're never saying hi, and you're thinking, "What are you watching?" Because I'm giving tips here, and I know my tips are good. You know what I mean? I'm seeing it on other people's tips channels, and I'm thinking, "It's funny timing this." He's giving me like, what do they call it? Creators' rights, you know. You say this channel, I got this idea from this channel. Do you know what I mean? I've said some on here years ago. I do a lot of third-party landings when I used to teach people, and I played with a predator one day, and he did third-party landing. It wasn't his intention, but he said, "I'm going to land here, and I'm going to push from here." And I realized, oh, this is actually works. They're all fighting, and you're coming in on a backside, and it's like a third party, but it's a landing. You know, he didn't call it third-party landing or anything like that, but I thought, oh, I like that. That's what I do. I watch people, and I go, I like that. What you did. You know what I mean? You know, and I'm going to add that into my game. And that's what I do. I'm a good at analysing things. I said it many times on here. Sor Kobe was the first player that I seen kind of crouch slide jumping. Do you know what I mean? I thought that kind of makes sense because you're crouch sliding, your head's down, you're breaking camera. It wasn't his intention, but it was a good way to move. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, all right, yeah, you're breaking camera, you're sliding, and then you're leaving the ground to pounce on somebody, and they don't hear you because you're off the ground. Your footsteps audio is not there. So I started adding that into my game. Do you know what I mean? I don't rob people's ideals. I do say where I get my stuff from. Do you know what I mean? I seen somebody the other day. What was it? I didn't know you could do this, but it's so obvious when you think about it because you go in that way all the time. Hammond Labs on Olympus. You go down that funnel, the chimney, yeah? Right? Now, I'm always respawning my teammates. You know, I don't want to do it, but I like doing it. I like bringing my teammates back alive, giving them, it shows teamwork. It shows that we're ready. We should now play together. And sometimes your teammates actually start playing with you because you revived them or respawned them. They want to reward you back, you know, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? What you put out, you get back. And I didn't realize you could respawn inside the building via the chimney, you know, the thing you come down at the beginning. It's so obvious because you come down it, but I didn't think of that. And then I seen somebody do it the other day on PC. Never seen it on console. So I've now added that into my game. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that I know everything, but I just see what people are doing right and what is smart and whatnot. I don't even watch that much stuff anymore. And I will use it, you know? Like this video I'm going to try and watch now. Really good explanation how to do this. And some that I do, you know, very good layman's terms, you know, very good, like, you know, editing, cutting. I'm not saying I'm a good editor, don't get me wrong. But when you make it so simple for people, it's easy for everybody to understand, not just the few, the many. Right, we've got to find it. We called it. We made a new playlist, so if we do find the odd video, we're going to save it in our playlist and we're going to practice it slowly on this thing. So we need to... movement going forward on console is easier than it is on PC. So I've got to learn how to get used to the way PC movement works, which is more diagonal instead of curved, if that makes sense. So my movement's missing out quite a bit. I was very good at... Obviously, my shoulders are in. I was very good on console of, like... So if I am getting, I've realised, oh, there's two of them, I can't beat these, and I want to get out, I was really good at getting away and turning and then getting in the angle. Notice it just took me 2 crouches to get in that angle. On console, I'd be rounding 1. Therefore, I'm not taking as much damage. I can pop a battery. I've created 5 seconds of space. Now I can control this space. Do you know what I mean? So now I can control this with my bat, you know, or I'll put an arc star there and then do that, you know what I mean? And change me shift, you know? See that? I would now, on console, that would have put me here. You notice that? So... because of the diagonal way the keyboard works or whatever, I sometimes dead slide and I'm stood in the open like that. So I'm missing out on the movements that I used to have. I just used to play angle to angle and I would take space or back off the space, you know, to create space, or I take their space, you know. I've been doing this for years, you know, 20 odd years now. 26 years. Obviously, this game, you can expose yourself a little bit depending on what legend you got. You know, Wraith, you can void. Octane, you can stim. Pathfinder, you can grapple. So there's, you know, Valkyrie, you can just fly away. And she's really easy now. She's really, like, what's the right word? Strafey in the air. Forgot what I called the bloody playlist. And I got so many playlists. Me son's toilet, and apparently he's having a problem where it's not flushing away, and I've realised I've moved the toilet over about another foot to give him more room away from the wall, but the flexi pipe that goes on the back might be struggling as it's a bit further for it to run. So I'm thinking, which you wouldn't think that, you know what I mean, because it's a flexible one. Do you know what I mean? So it might have caused a problem. So I found that out today, so I've got to look into that soon. So what do we call it? Coaching guides? I don't know what I called it. Let's look on the PC, it's quicker. You can see more on the screen. Trying to do it on the PlayStation takes ages. Playlist, playlist, playlist. Let's have a look. Playlist, 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 playlist. Chest pain videos, no. A fast to heal, no. Let's do these short exercises every day. I do agree. No. Maybe it's just called coaching. We'll look for C. C-A-C-H-C-L-C-R. Coaching. No, it's a different type of coaching. Sugar. What did I call it? Oh, no. I'm gonna call it, I might have called it movement. I always said I won't bother with this game when I'm on console, you know. Until I get a mouse in my hand, I'm just not interested. So, we're going to try and learn tiny bits of movement now and again. So... what do we call it? Movement. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Okay, L, M. M-O-M-I. Movies. Meal shorts. No. What did he call it? So it'd be in my history, wouldn't it? I'll have to do it that way then. Never mind. Take a while. Figure out the beginning of the day. I watched it kind of early-ish. Here. This guy's name is Purity or something, or Popurity. Popurity. Really good video. Only had 1,300 views, and it's deserved a hell of a lot more views than that. It's bloody good. Bloody good video. It's rare that I say that. Right, let's make it a big screen, and he explains it so well. Obviously, I've forgotten.
Easy to do it to like kind of like start building it into my muscle memory and just my memory in general was to climb up here, like start real low so I can prepare myself.
He's going up, climbing,
and then
he's looking down.
Like I think that's how I did it first. It's on my channel, like a few months back. But I know that's how I did it first. It's on my channel, like a few months back.
People like this, these are more views.
I know that's what I was doing to like kind of just help me do it a few more times after that, and then eventually I started being able to do it more and more and more and more. Then I like kind of stopped going down here, and then I kind of went like right there so that I can make sure like I'm able to do it as fast as possible in a real match. But yeah, so that's what you want to do if you don't know how to do it yet and you can't do it consistently. That way you can kind of prepare yourself and like just focus more so on the timing after the jump off. But you want to make sure you're able to do this here, and then from there, this is not where you mental jump. What people don't know, you actually want to climb up a little more. You want to almost finish your climb up animation for the downwards one, and for the upwards mental jump, you want to pretty much finish it like 98, 99%. Like you literally almost want to be up here. So the timing, think of like, just practice like climbing up something. And you see that like screen shake? You have that first screen shake, but the second one there
I don't care about
is kind of where you want to like activate that super jump.
It's about,
okay, so that's what that would look like.
Am I going to be able to break camera to give me a chance
mantle
to
it, climb up a little bit,
to miss some shots,
a little
not
bit.
Me to take too much damage.
It's either during that screen shake or right before that screen shake. But again,
I'm looking at
you want to make
when
sure
you
you're
go up a rope, it's not easy.
More.
So, but if you can do the
so you don't want to
jump,
like do it all the way down here.
It totally changes your
you can, but
what
like
you can do or how much damage you'll take.
It will kind of look like that. That's what it looked like. That's probably what it looks like if you're doing it too early. So you want to make sure you're climbing up more. If that's what your mantle jumps are looking like, and you're doing everything else right, then you're just not climbing up enough. So if you fix that, like I did, that's what made me do it consistently. So if you fix that, then you should be able to mantle jump from here on out. If that's your only issue.
You'll be missing some.
If you find yourself literally just going into the wall there, you gotta climb up more, buddy. But yeah. So
let's go that way.
Do that. Make sure you climb up enough, and then once you climb up enough,
last ledge, he says,
that's when you want to pull back. But you want to be making sure you're looking down the whole time. So as soon as you see this floor, you want to be looking down. Like you just want to hold it down, and your camera should like kind of stop here.
Oh, my shoulder!
Or like, you know, it goes like that. So that's when you want to look down as soon as you see the floor.
Is
like
that
0.1 second
obviously the
after you
game's
see the
changed.
floor.
You've got this new thing in the game, and this video is a little bit older.
You want to make sure you're looking down first, though. So that's the first thing you do.
That's standard.
All right. So after you mantle and you after you get here, you want to look down, and then from there, while you're holding down, you want to make sure you're climbing up enough. And then once you climb up enough to the point that I explained earlier, which is either when you see that screen shake or literally 0.1 second before you see that screen shake, you want to swing my arm back too much. And then you're still looking down that whole time. And then once you pull back,
I think you just got to go up normal,
push back forward, and then activate the normal timing for a super jump. I'm going to explain it frame by frame in the editing app, but I'm explaining it right now, like in person, just to get you started.
I'm not a believer of pushing height.
I promise
if
you
can break camera, let's say you've broken them,
you'll get this. You'll get this.
And you can do this mantle jump, and turn around and do it when they're broke, then it just totally changes the fight.
What is it?
Whereas if you're If you've broken them and you've got to go up in a straight line,
climb up
or just
more.
go left and right, they're going to read that. But
See how my camera look down? It's because I'm holding it down the whole time. So you want to climb up more. Obviously, you don't want to go all the way up here. I'm specifically talking about a looking down method. You don't want to go all the way up here.
Shit.
Okay, so I got you like through those first like 3 steps.
That was close, wasn't it?
Let's finish it off.
That's the in-game bit, isn't it?
The normal timing for a super jump happens after you pull back. Once you pull back, you push forward when you go for that interact. So like you push forward and you go for that interact as well, and then it's just a normal timing for a super jump. Okay, so I'll explain it better in the app, in the editing app, and I'll break it down frame by frame, and I'll slow the mental jump down and everything so that you can get it. But I'm gonna explain it one more time.
Keep re-explaining it, re-explaining it.
I'm gonna try to like
literally
say it out loud as I'm doing it, but this is literally just so fast to do.
Like 20
Jump up, see the floor, hold down the whole time, pull back, push back forward, super jump. So it looks like I didn't look down enough. Too early. It's actually good I'm messing up so I can like point it out. What the? But yeah, it's good I'm messing up so I can put it down. Point it out. So I said I was doing it too early, and then I just simply didn't look down fast enough on the first one. Bro, what am I doing?
It's getting it wrong. Ooh. Well, I'm not doing that.
I'll be having like just brain farts, bro. Like my brain just like goes like a little numb for a second. Like, what are you doing, bro? I literally forgot how to mental jump for a second, and I know how to do it consistently. That's one thing I'll say about mental jumping. Until you like really like build that muscle memory 100%, you're just gonna have like a few times where you're just like, wait, how do you do it again? But yeah. So pull back, look back forward, pull back, push back forward, and super jump.
I think if I went in so much pain, I could do this a little bit.
So like, you see, that's literally all the problem is.
Obviously, my sense is a bit slow.
I was trying to like do it
my
fast,
sense a little bit,
but I stopped
lowered
myself.
my DPI again.
I'm like, wait, hold on.
I was getting fed up of trying to loot the boxes.
So like, if you're doing it too soon,
too fast.
For most of you, that's literally your only issue. I bet that's some of your only issues that you have.
Now.
It's just doing it too soon.
Control it.
So like I said, I want to put an emphasis on it. Make sure you're climbing up.
I was a rare looting.
Not all the way. Just climb up a little more. I can
control it a bit now.
Okay.
I know what I can do with my eyes and what I can't.
Almost
I would say
do a full mental, do a full climb up.
And
almost. Like 92% up there.
Most people
for an upwards one,
I've always had a slight
it's different. The timing is longer. I said 92% looking down. You want to climb up maybe 98% looking upwards. So like, this is the one I don't do consistently. I really don't even know if I should be the person to explain this.
I want to do the thing, I gotta look down, but that means I gotta shift my shoulder. I gotta look down.
Oh, so okay.
Right, we're doing. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get up to 185
Hold
now.
on, cause.
Ooh, 1.8.
Okay. So what I just did. The only thing I did, like, I didn't think you, like, had to, like, I didn't think the same rule applied for upwards one. Basically, what I was doing wrong this whole time was, not looking up as soon as I get up there. So, like, I was kind of just looking up when I, am about to super jump, like, just looking forward the whole time and then, pop! Because, like, I feel like I've seen people do that. But I just tried, looking up the whole time like I would for a downwards one, and I mental jumped it. Alright, so
he said you gotta look down enough, I think, but I can't do it because it hurts my shoulder.
So interesting.
It's not about, for me, it's not about, like, I'm one of these people that, how do you explain it? There's a click moment for me. So I could do this 100 times and I won't get it, and then one day it'll accidentally happen, and then I'll get it, you know? So I know that happens to me. That's how I work, you know? It's how my things work. And I'm happy with that. I don't mind. I don't get frustrated.
Okay. You know? So I'm waiting till, like, I'm like 99% done climbing up, gonna try
Going
to
on
like.
about you ain't got a 4K damage badge and all that. Like, well, I haven't really been trying. I've maybe tried for 2 hours on this game to get a 4K damage badge, and I've nearly got 2. Do you know what I mean? How many hours did I say? Let's say possibly 4 hours I've tried to get a, let's say 6. Let's just push it. We'll say 6. Sod it, we'll say 8. Definitely not more than 8. Right, 8 hours I've tried to get a 4K damage badge on this game. I've done 9,000 hours of this game by playing the Battle Royale side, yeah? Right? Trying to be the champion, you know? Trying to get top 5s, trying to be the champion. And in that 8 hours, I've nearly got 2. And I got, the last time I tried was in about a 3-hour window, and I nearly got 2 in that 3-hour window. With my lag and with a controller. And I'm not a controller player. So it doesn't matter to me, you know. I always said if I ever got on PC, you know what I mean, and I got a mouse, I'll get a 4K because I'll be able to snipe people and my tac nades will be better and stuff like that. I'll be able to stick people, which I've proven on here. I've stuck about 13 people now. I maybe wouldn't stick 13 people in a year on console. Do you know what I mean? I can use frag nades now, so I got the pitch nades are better now, and I can pitch me nades. I've had 100 damage nades quite a few times now, whereas I'd have to be really like. Think about how I'm going to pitch me nade and like he's there and then I'd be doing a pit with this. You can just adjust. Oh, it needs to be there with it, you know, and I can just bring it back. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's just easier, you know, little things like that are just so much easier on a mouse. And now I can snipe from range, you know, I can see more. That means I can shoot from a bit further. Let's say I get a 3K game. When I get a 3K game on this, I'm going to go rifles and just damage the last 1,000 in. And then get the 4K that way. And just because I've been going on about it for years. I've got loads of people that want a 4K and they think they're crap because they ain't got one. It doesn't matter, trust me. But their egos are there. I understand that. I had an ego thing years ago where I wanted a 180 in my darts. Yeah, I needed a 180 in my darts. It meant I was bad if I didn't get a 180. I must be bad. I'm not a good player. Everybody else has got one. I ain't got one. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I accidentally got one night. Guess what? Started getting them all the time. You know, I was hitting 2 a night, sometimes 3, you know, but couldn't get one for years. And I really wanted one. It was my ego was in the way and my negative self-thinking was in the way. And I accidentally got one. All right. And as soon as I got one, it's the same thing. I teach it on the stream about the 4-minute mile. No one could beat 4 minutes on the mile. Yeah. The run of the mile. Right. And no one could do it. No one could do it. Everybody said it was impossible. It was impossible. Somebody did it. And then everybody starts doing it because now it's possible. So when I got my 180 on my dartboard, I started getting it because I now realized I was possible to be able to get it. I was good enough to get it. So that's why I don't care about the 4K damage badge. And a lot of people have got the same problem. They can't get a 4K damage badge and they create this mind block, this negative thing and all that. They're not good enough, not good enough. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to teach easy ways for people to get the 4K damage badge so they can get past the 4-minute mile block or the 180 block that I've experienced the 180 block, and I know the 4-minute mile was the exact same thing. It's all about the power of the mind. You know what I mean? If you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe you can achieve, it sounds tacky, but it's fucking true. I used to hear that saying so many times, and it just was so flippant to it. It's fucking true, people. Do you know what I mean? So, somebody who comes on the stream a lot, they're not a master, but they're good enough to be a master, but it's in their head that they're not a master and they really need to be a master, otherwise they don't think they're good enough. And I got somebody else who comes on the stream, they've been trying to become master, but they want to do it solo. Why do you want to do it solo? You know, it's the ego thing again. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to do it solo. Just go and do it with somebody, yeah? You'll get it, the mental block will go, yeah? So go and do it as a team, your mental block will go, and then you'll end up doing it on your own anyway, because the mental block's gone. Do you know what I mean? It's just such a silly. People are wasting so much time on this game trying to get damage badges, 20 kill badges, and they're solo in ranked and all that. Just play with people and you'll do it all and you'll believe in yourself a lot. You're wasting your years of your time playing a game. And then by the time you end up getting it, now you want to go further. It's too late. The game's dead. Now, I learned this years ago on, what was it? Call of Duties used to last about 18 months. You can't piss about, mucking about and not playing the right way. You've got to be playing the straight away the right way. Otherwise, all the teams are advanced to you. They're all in front of you. And now you can't catch up because their learning curve's well ahead of yours because you've been pissing about playing public. Do you know what I mean? How'd you get so good? How'd you get so good? I don't play public, mate. I play matches. 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 Do you know what I mean? How'd you get so good? How'd you know that? How'd you know that? Because I play matches. I don't play public. I play matches. And they're like, oh, dude, what's it? One kid he said to me, I think I was giving tips on my channel, and he was playing with me. Said, right, I'm going to go around this corner now. He's probably going to be on my right, so I'm going to break camera, slide left. Yeah, he's going to shoot at me. Then I'm going to break camera, move right, and then I'm going to shoot at him, and he's probably going to track me again. And he's going to shoot at me, and I'm going to go strafe left, and I'm going to break camera again. I'm going to do him, and I should not get broke, or I might just get broke, and he'll be deleted. He said, really? Do you think about that every time you approach a corner? Yes. You know what I mean? oh my gosh, you know, if you don't think about what you're doing, you got to have a plan in your head, and the quicker the way you learn it and you repeat it and you repeat it, it all becomes muscle memory. Do you know what I mean? And he was like, oh, do you really think that, do you? And that's why you got randoms. They just go around like headless chickens, not thinking about what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? That's why I talk about what I talk about. Everything's in sections. You know what I mean? Approach fight, crouch slide, jump. Put gun away to make it faster. Approach fight out of line of sight. Approach fight, don't shoot too early. Do you know what I mean? So that guy up there now should shoot now. You should not shoot now. Do you see him up there now? You know, and a random would shoot at anything he could see. He would shoot now. Now the guy's an egg glitch. You're not going to do anything to him. You should shoot now. You know, before he gets back to there. Do you know what I mean? So then you'll get the damage. But this is too far to send. If you're a Pathfinder, you can get up there. But this is too far for you to engage that fight. So you should come out of line of sight. Approach the fight to get the distance down, yeah? So then when you do, if you can't beam him, you can get close with your mantle jump. He's going to want to look down. You're going to go up. He thinks he's got the benefit. But you're going to do your mantle jump and you broke cash. You know what I mean? This is what you should do. This is how the game should be played. You know what I mean? You've got a lot of people that are just sending, you know? And they're not really thinking about what they're doing. So if you've got a good player up here, you're screwed. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a random up here, you're not screwed. Oh, shit. I don't know what to do about his shoulder. If I got anything here that I can use that's natural. Right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have an anti-inflammatory ginger and turmeric tea. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So much bloody pain. Right. I can't do that. Oh dear. Damn. Oh. Got me some new glasses there. Broke my glasses. I've been worrying about breaking them for ages because they're alright. The frames are a bit big, but they work with my eyes. They're just about right. I don't like to over strong glasses. These are like only a 0.5, so I can just about see now. It's all right, you know. I can't snipe or whatever, but they're all right. You know what I mean? Don't want to push my eyes too much. But we've got 30, 3 at the top as well on the accuracy. There you are, not anymore. So,
I'm going to look around here. Let's go here. Allons-y. We are not alone. Look over here.
Get a gun, man, so I can't weapon switch.
Zipline here. Good news. I've leveled up. I should select an upgrade.
It's a reload button.
Let's go there. Adversary near me.
There's no lag on her, it's lovely. Oh,
Putting down a fence. I'm looting here. Close down here. No more resistance. Time for an upgrade. Come on, this way.
can you be in a bag, strafe, and jump? I guess you can. Yeah, you can.
I think something may be here. Without an upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage. Setting a fence. Shush now. No more stones. Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
Keyboard feels alright, but it is really cheap, like 15, 20 quid. I can rate it, I suppose, can't I? Not as laggy as it was on console. It's still
Without
laggy.
an upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
Not so bad when I'm in a one-on-one in line of sight, but if I got two enemy looking at me, there is a bit of a lag out. Not shooting at me, mind. Just looking at me. It's not as bad as it was on console because the graphics was not good, and then you had the tearing on the graphics with the lag. And I don't get the tearing on here. I suppose the graphics card's handling something. I don't know how it works, but. So we're gonna be a bit lazy tonight, and we're just gonna.
An upgrade would be energizing. I'm sensing.
Wish it was like this in game, no lag like this. Oh my gosh, this would be so smooth.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade.
That feels alright. It's a nice kind of flick and a 180. Obviously, turn around a bit quicker on that.
Perfect. I'm
I don't want to make it too sensitive where my head can't keep up with it. That's my problem. Oh my.
An upgrade would be energizing. Enemy right here. Fence in position. Playing with fences. Laying fences. Perhaps I should select an upgrade. Shush now. No more storms. Fence in position. Putting down a fence. An upgrade would be energizing. Playing with fences.
That's the best way. Put the pole close to you first, not the farthest one. That's what I ran. Yeah, that makes sense. gonna have to come off, I think. I'm in too much pain, people. Now we got the subscriber only mode on. Oh, we're gonna control some of the idiots now. You know what I mean? Because they're sitting there watching like silent viewers, waiting for something to go wrong for me so they can say some shit.
Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
I'm off. I'm in too much pain. Change that button around. I want to try some up. So ability. So we're going to put tactical on that, and we're going to put interact on that one. Okay. So I can do my abilities quicker.
Laying fences. Perhaps I should select an upgrade. Setting a fence.
Fences are doing me head in. So practice that little trick. Start creating a muscle memory on it for Watson.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade. Fence in position.
All right. I never thought of that. So one there. One there.
Fence placed.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay.
An upgrade would be fence in position. There's a fence here.
One there. One there.
Fence in position.
Open. 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 Fine.
Setting a fence. Without an upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
We got low roofs in here. We need a higher roof. What price am I? Seem it's quite a good Watson. Don't trust his aim, I'll admit. But, height.
We should move here. No more resistance. Time for an upgrade. Without an upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
Hi.
Hello there, Tech. How are you, bud? How's it going? Trying to learn wall jumps. I've played on controller for years and it was really laggy, so I didn't really overdo the wall jumps. I just did a couple of basic ones. So I'm trying to learn how to do a wall jump in a bad position. Do you know what I mean? Done it a couple of times.
Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
That's the one I used to do. I used to do that and just do a basic climb and back. Sometimes it doesn't quite go. So I want to do, obviously, that one there I think would be good. Do you know what I mean? But that one's not good. So if I can get one to go back where I was here and I can beat
I am good, buddy.
nice one. So say the enemy was there.
Nice. Wall jumps.
Yeah. I always knew it would be easier on a mouse, you know? Because you can do the little flicky bits that would be a little bit more control. So I didn't really try too hard on a, what you call it, controller. I'm thinking the enemy's there. Alright. So the doors, change my key. Doors open. He can do me if I do this. And it's a 50-50. This is a 50-50. So if
An
I can
upgrade would be energizing.
if I got a shotgun or something like that, I've broken his camera and he's not expecting it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out things like that. So I used to practice the game years ago and then I stopped. So I was like, kind of got crack side jumps in, a couple of basic wall jumps. Obviously the egg glitching, the angles, the map layout, the audio, the gun patterns, things like that, you know, the recoil things, whatever. But I didn't extend my movement past what I already had because it was pointless with the lag I had. So I thought, give me something to do, you know, instead of just going on public. I spent so long on the actual game.
An upgrade would be energizing.
That's quite good. That's quite good. Never knew you could do that. That's quite good. I didn't know you could do that. Wow, fuck. That would be useful, but I don't like having my back to the enemy. So. That's what I want to do, but how can I do Got it wrong. That's good. So they're behind the door.
No more resistance.
How did
Time
you do
for an
that?
upgrade.
Hey? Yeah, no, I didn't know you could do that. That isn't anything. That's just easy. You know, I never knew you could do that. I never tried. See, I stopped practicing years ago. All I did was crouch slide in, and then it kind of boosts you. I explain it. It's kind of a boost. Oh, I'm trying to mantle it then. Yeah, it's trying to mantle it now. Oh no.
Are you wall jumping on the door?
That's mantling there, isn't it? That's not right. So I'm just gonna do. That's just a slide. It doesn't do anything with a slide. So I must be doing something. I must be hitting jump or something. How did I do it? Is there a certain part of the door you gotta do it? Ah! They're behind the door. You would usually do that, wouldn't you?
Without
Do you
an
know what I mean?
upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
Oh. It might be kind of a weird wall jump. It's quite good. That's good. I don't know how I did that. You need one of them, like, recorders of your key presses and all that, and then you can play it back and go, oh, that's how I did it. That would be the easy way to learn, do you know what I mean? You've seen them on the videos they do. They sometimes got the controller layout on the screen, or they got the keyboard layout, and you can figure out by watching your playback, oh, I pressed that and that. You know, that's how you could learn. Years ago, I played, what was it, Medal of Honor out of Assault, and I didn't cheat, but some teams would use cheats to practice. So they would learn how to tac nade by using cheats. Do you know what I mean? So they would have a wall hack. So like you got here, you got the cheats, yeah? So you can see the enemy down below that thing, and they would practice tac nades from here. So they would actually put cheats on, yeah, to practice their tac nades. True. True.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade.
Or you had to play with somebody, so you had to ask them to stand there. So they would like cheat, and then they'd know where they are, and then they could figure out where the nades would go. They would like, because I'd have to practice with somebody and say like, how close was I? He said about never 2 foot to the left, about never 2 foot to the left, about 3 foot to the right. Nah, you've gone too far. Now you're 4 foot to the right. Okay, and you literally keep practicing. Do you know what I mean?
Damn.
If you look at it, it's a learning curve. You know what I mean? I don't cheat, but it's a way of getting good quick. Like I do explain it. Right. I do not recommend this to be done, and I would not do this myself. But if a game comes out, yeah, and it's a competitive game, and you cheat at the beginning, you will learn where the enemies spawn. You will learn what angles they get to quickest, and you will learn how to tac nade those angles by using a cheat at the beginning. So you could, I do not recommend this, I am not trying to instill this on anybody, but if you were to cheat at the beginning of the game, yes, you would learn all these fundamentals of timings and positions that the enemy spawn at and all that stuff, yeah? And then you have the advantage over the rest of the player base that don't understand that until they die 500 times doing the same thing and realizing, oh shit, the enemy gets there a bit quicker than me. Do you know what I mean? Now, that's how, you know, if you want, you know what I mean? You know, I know that I remember I'm not going to say what team it was, but they were #1 team on the ladder. They practiced with cheats. And I know they did, because I've seen a video on it. And they were using, what were they doing? I think they were using wall hacks to allow them to see where they needed to tac nade. So they could see through the wall and then they could chuck the nades. Something like that. I remember it. Or the nade was a cheat.
Understandable.
Or the nade was
Makes
a cheat.
sense.
Maybe the nade was a cheat. The nades had chameleon skins. So if I chuck my nade, I haven't got a nade. If I chuck my nade behind that wall, I got a really bad shoulder, so I can't do anything tonight. So I always chuck my nade behind there. You would see where the nade went with a chameleon skin, so you would see it through the wall. So that's another cheat people used to use years ago. So this is a chameleon skin, basically. That there is a chameleon skin. You can see them through the wall, you know what I mean? And then if they were to peek, so this, no, it's not a chameleon skin because it's still red, yeah. So where would you say? So that guy there, so if I go back, they would use chameleon skins, I think it was called. So many, I've spent years playing and there's so many people cheat. So where is it? Where's he gone? So right, that guy there. Oh, his head's still showing. Get down here. Right, so when does his head show? There. right? You just see his head fractionally show, just fractionally show. I haven't got my best glasses on, but the guy on the left, yeah? Do you see his head just there show, yeah? Well, they would use a chameleon skin. So if it would go yellow, that means his head was showing and you could shoot his head. So you would learn how to shoot a head glitcher via a cheat. Do you know what I mean? And then when, let's say, you stop cheating and now you want to play the game, like, you know, so you don't get caught, you've got all these advantages. Do you know what I mean? You've learned the game quicker than anybody else have. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? So this is what people used to do, mate, and I know they still do it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people aren't smart like that, you know. But the years ago they were doing that, and they weren't hiding it either. They were doing it, you know. I used to have to practice my nades and just keep running to the spot that I chuck my. I haven't got any nades, but I would chuck my nade, and you get like a marker. So I'd run over and have to figure out where the nade went, and I'd have to keep going back and forth, keep going back and forth. Well, they would just use a fucking cheat. Do you know what I mean? It'd be chameleon skin on the nade, or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I remember it. You know what I mean? But I'd keep walking back and forth to figure out where my nade went to practice me tac nades. You know, the only thing I'll ever say I was an elite tac nader. That's above pro. I was an amazing tac nader. I was absolutely elite. Do you know what I mean? So, because I used to spend like an hour a day practicing my tac nades. Some people on this game, they'll spend an hour a day practicing their wall jumps. I used to spend an hour a day practicing my tac nades, tac nades. Back then, a nade kills. You know what I mean? You got a head glitcher. He's a bitch to get off, yeah? Right? You'd have a tac nade for it. Do you know what I mean? So if there was somebody that was always holding that wall because it was a good place to control space, I would learn a tac nade to stop pissing about. Let's just get him off the spot. Do you know what I mean? And I'd just do him with one nade. You know what I mean? Then my teammates would give me their nades, and I could do two people around. You know, if I needed to. But I needed communication. I needed to know where they are. I could do nades from like, it was all practiced. Obviously, I don't practice on this game because when I was on console, I just didn't see the point of being a high-level tac nader with a controller. So I'll tell you how I used to do it. So right, okay. So there's a tac nade spot. I haven't got a nade. So let's say the guy is. This is a known spot there, yeah. That's a known spot, and if you come from here, you've got no angles, so he can do you, yeah. So that's a known spot here. Let's say it's there or whatever, yeah. So you would come here. So I would use a box. I was smart the way I would do it. I'd use a box. I was always in the same position, and I'd aim at a certain part of the cloud, and I would throw the nade, and it would land perfectly on the spot because I put myself in a position, and I keep practicing it. Let's say there's a cloud, depending on your graphics. There's a cloud there. I would aim there, tac nade, and it would go instant kill, bang. Do you know what I mean? Spent years practicing that. Do you know what I mean? And this is how you learn tac nades. You know, and I was an elite tac nader. I am not shitting you. I was fucking good. That's how easy it is, you know. You're just using pixels in the sky, you know, certain parts of the cloud, and you just hit that nade on that spot, and it always hits that spot. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I wanted to play this game properly from the beginning, but everybody was running around 20 kill badges and all that, so I couldn't practice with no one. So I would want to like learn the final rings, yeah. And once you've learned the final rings, you can start tac nading all the spots on the final rings, and you just easily wipe squads. It's just so easy. But you know, people don't want to practice on the game. They want to run around getting damage and all that shit. You know what I mean? It was annoying, so that's why I stopped playing the game. I thought, fuck it, I might as well give them some tips.
Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
I was an elite tac nader. I am not fucking shitting you. Because obviously playing COD, you gotta like, there's a breakout. There's a beginning of the game. They break out, and you gotta slow them down to get from there to get to the good angles. So you can get to the good angles. Then you can win that early entry. It was breakout. I would just call it a breakout. They would spawn over there. We would spawn here. I have to stop them getting to that spot. I'd have to use a tac nade. Do you know what I mean? So you would do like, I don't know, you need to stop them to get to that spot over there behind the grass. And you would run forward, jump, chuck the nade, and then you would move forward knowing your nade was going to work. You wouldn't mar your nade, and then you would do them. Do you know what I mean? The nade hits them, you get some, bang, it's GG's. I've got this spot now. I can get to this spot here before they can get to that spot. Now I can control, make sure no one's there, and I can get across. You know what I mean? That's what you were doing. Position to position to position to position. Out of line of sight, out of line of sight. And any time there was a bitch on an egg glitch, which you knew where the egg glitches were because you were playing match after match after match, people start using the same spots. Once you get killed by a spot 20 times, you realise that's a good spot. You use that spot. In this game, they would call that the God spot. You know what I mean? And that's what I do for years and years and years and years and years and years. I didn't have to outshoot anybody most of the time. I could just nade them. Sometimes there would be, say that was B-bomb, yeah? That's the B-bomb, right? I'd be on this side here, protecting the A-bomb, yeah? So I'd be defending A-bomb, And then somebody said, he's on B. And I stand there and I'd have a cloud and I'd tap nade it and he'd be dead. I don't have to go there. I just kill him with my nade. But sometimes, how to explain it? I wouldn't just sit here and admire my nade. You know, I always teach people in this game, don't admire your nade. Shoot the bitch, you know, because it takes a longer time to kill. So I would so I'd tack nade, then I'd go after it and I'd wait. If I get hit blip, I know where he is. If I don't get hit blip, I know he's on the left side. Do you get what I mean? Then I know how to approach. Do you know what I mean? So I'm approaching, he's going to be on the left side because I put my nade down. Do you know what I mean? And you learn, and it would just all be that. No hacks, no cheats, just fucking analytical thinking of playing a game. Do you know what I mean? Just overthinking the game, chessing the game out. And you can do that on this game so easy, but you know, you've seen the bloody players on this game, they just throw their nades like they're just like pieces of chicken. Do you know what I mean? It's the freaking, it'll win the game. It'll win your fight, you know? A well-placed tack nade will win your fight. 100 damage with a frag nade. I'm collecting nades at the end of the game, man. I'm ready to chuck them, especially now with mouse. You know what I mean? I can do some decent vert nades quickly. You can do vert nades on controller, but you can't do that precision and that speed that you can with a mouse. Do you know what I mean? So, very easy. So when I first played this game, I was constantly getting top 5s to try and learn these spots to start learning attack nades, but everybody else was dead. I was always on my own. Oh, fuck this, I can't bother this shit. Do you know what I mean? So I thought I'd do some tips. Like,
was that an upgrade? I'm at a disadvantage.
I think final rings are really easy with tack nades, but you've got to have people that are willing to practice, you know what I mean? Say this is a god spot, I'd learn a nade for that. If that was a god spot, I'd learn a nade for that. And I just go one nade there, one nade there. I'll do it behind the tank, out of line of sight. So, right, he's there. He's there, and I go bang, bang, 2 clouds, bang, bang, you're dead. Send. You're dead, because you'll want to get away from the nade. And you'll be dead. My nade sits that side, that means he's got to come that side. He'll be dead if my nade don't fully do him. Very simple. It's just analytical play. Chess, you know? It's chessboard. That's a chess piece. That's a chess piece. That's a square on the board. That's a square on the board. That's my square. How do I get them? Same as, what's that called? Battleships. Is it called battleships? Warships? Fucking easy. Absolutely easy. But everybody in here, no offense to the game, but they all want to look good. They don't want to actually just win. Do you know what I mean? They want to look good.
Resistance.
So, I don't give a fuck about looking good. I give a fuck about winning.
I'm going to keep a lookout over there.
And change the button back. Very simple. Done it for years. That one. Tactical ability. Is going back on that one. And then inventory. Is space? No. Fucking hell. What is it called? When you loot, what's that button called when you're looting? Interact. That back on it is. I don't want to fuck my muscle memories up, man. Got a new keyboard today because my other one's fucked.
No more resistance.
Got a good one. Still haven't got a dual input key yet, but we will buy one. Then my weapon switch will be better. Then I'll be able to be a tiny bit more aggressive on my push. Put my gun away and get on him and get me gun back out. That's what I was doing on console. I was really good at that. So I'm losing. I've missed that part of my game, which is huge. People don't realise that, but that's fucking huge.
Putting down a fence.
Years of tack nading. I used to do years of practicing darts, years of practicing basketball, years of practicing karate, years of whatever it was. I was always just grinding it, you know. Darts I spent years playing, 10 years, 7 nights a week. Football, I didn't really practice football that much. And then when I did, what was it? It's not like it is now. It's so easy to learn things now because of YouTube. Years ago,
An upgrade would be
you couldn't learn anything about football unless somebody taught you. But there was one day I was in the school library and there was a book about football. It was only a little tiny book. And I was reading it and it was explaining how to take a penalty. And I thought, oh, I like that. It's so simple. And it was just about the way you hit the ball. So I used to trick people with my body language and I'd score a goal. And the ball would go the opposite way what they think my body language was. So then you would use the outside of your foot to make it slice that way. Do you know what I mean? And it was so simple and all that, like, do you know what I mean? And I couldn't drive a ball. I didn't know how to drive a ball. I tried, and I used to watch people do it. And I think, how the fuck did you do that? And I accidentally did it one day, and then I could do it. That I could get the pace along the grass. Sometimes the goalies, like, stood up like this, yeah? And with time and space, because football's the same, time and space. So if he's a taller goalkeeper, it takes him longer to get down, yeah? So you got to shoot low ground because you know time and space, he can't get down there. Do you know what I mean? But if he's a shorter goalkeeper, he can get down there quick because his hands are lower to the ground, time and space, yeah?
Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
So then you would want to shoot higher because he's got to go up. It all depends on where her hands are. Do you know what I mean? I can't do much with my shoulder at the moment. So if his hands are up like that, I would shoot bottom right corner. Do you know what I mean? And if he was shifted his weight that way, I would definitely shoot over the right. Do you know what I mean? It was just, it's all analytical stuff, but being able to do it fast. Now, I'm very analytical, but some people can do it faster, and they're the elite people. Do you know what I mean? I got the brain of a pro, but I haven't got the elite speed of some players where they're really fast thinking and they're doing it maybe 10% quicker than me, and that's fucking huge. It don't seem a lot, but it's a lot. The one that shield swaps quicker, the one that is in the fight and it's gone a bit crazy, he's got the memory bank of where the shield swaps are. Do you know what I mean? Whereas my memory bank ain't as fast as that, and it's only 10%, but that fucking counts. Do you know what I mean? In this game, shield swapping is huge. That's why I didn't like the cheaters. They were shield swap scripting. I could see it. Do you know what I mean? They're doing it perfect every time. They're shield swap
Without an
scripting.
upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
I don't know if they got rid of it, but I could see they were doing it. And I said, they're shield swap scripting. But I didn't want to say it on my stream because I didn't want my stream to get killed. You know? Because if you say something about a high-level player that's doing cheats, your channel will get fucked up. Do you know what I mean? So, if they got like 100,000 subscribers, you're going to get a lot of hate. Try and keep your mouth shut, but I don't anymore because my channel's not getting any views, so that's why I say what I say now. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? That's that door thing again. That's quite useful, I think, that door thing. And I'm trying to practice I think it's called super mantles. So when I go up a zip, I'm not just going left and right. I can go above them and behind them. Do you know what I mean? I want to start adding some extra movements into my game while I'm still trying to get used to keyboard and setting my buttons up. I can still add some stuff. I don't want to over practice this game. But I would like to break camera a bit. I'm into breaking camera. The more you break camera, the most important thing in this game is to learn how to break camera to give you, so you don't take as much damage, basically. And you get them to use their bullets up. The more times you break their camera, you get them to use their bullets up. Which means they got to reload, and in that time of reloading, you're beaming them. In that time of reloading, you're getting your second gun out and doing them, when they've already wasted both their guns because you've broken camera so many times. Do you know what I mean? Just time and space. Always time and space. I've been doing this for 26 years now. And it works, but the problem was trying to get other people to understand it, and they were like, they wouldn't understand it. I couldn't explain it to them. You know what I mean? So, I used to teach them the time and space with the nades. They get to this point here at 20 seconds, so you need to chuck your nade at 15 because it takes 5 seconds time to travel, and then you've got a guaranteed kill. And if you didn't kill them, you know they're late going to that spot. That means you can take that spot, and you can tell your teammate that spot's clear. I've just naded it for you. Do you know what I mean?
An upgrade would be
and then they can be more aggressive on that
energizing.
spot and maybe take the next angle up of that spot. Do you know what I mean? Just math, chess, teamwork. Math, chess, teamwork. Freaking easy. All games are easy. To be a pro and be a high-level player, you just got to do it faster. And you've got to be confident. It's the only two things that you can't teach somebody. Do you know what I mean? You can help a little bit with confidence, do you know what I mean? You can't teach speed. That's up to them, you know? Aim training is up to them, you know? So, but I can teach all the analytical stuff, you know? All the math of the stuff, all the chess, you know? That's what I'm good at, you know? But the problem, my channel doesn't get many views, so I can't help people, do you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here willing to help people to get better players, you know, than what they already are. And I'm sitting here on a silent channel.
I'm painting. No more resistance. Time for movement.
in pain. I'm gonna have to go. My shoulder's really bad today. So we got a new keyboard. We're gonna have to test it out tomorrow.
BEST viewers on streambo.com, remove the space, at LC8 Uick.
Yeah, I don't want to get bots, mate. No offense. I don't want to cheat on my stream. I'm going on TikTok soon, so I'll get
Without
views
an
from there.
upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
I've somebody said it on Twitch. Somebody said it in my channel. I don't know what it was. Apparently, Twitch, you got to get bots to get up pages to get views. I just don't want to do that. That's like putting a script on your fucking game or getting a macro on your mouse. I just don't want to do it, you know? I am not perfect human being, but I ain't fucking doing it. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go on TikTok instead. I've already applied to a stream on TikTok, so I'll get views from there. And then my channels will grow. So...
Andiamo here.
I'll get used to this now. I never hip fired hardly ever in console due to very small stick movement is a big movement in game, and I fucking used to hate it. And I didn't get much aim assist. Now I just gotta get confident with my hip fire speed and my ADS speed, and once I get that and I start building the muscle memory, I'll be more confident in the hip fire.
No more resistance. Time. Without an upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
I'll get used to that as well. You can break camera on M&K, you can't do it on console. You can only kind of do that and then turn a bit, you know what I mean? But on here, you can actually break camera. Break. Don't let me on the bloody wall. You are. I'm not very good at it. That's it. It's like a little moment of delay in it, and it's a bit of a fearful moment if the enemy are aiming at a gun at you. Gotta get confident at it, you know? Practice, practice, practice until you get confident. Took me about 3 years of playing darts to get a 180. Once I got one, I could get 2 or 3 a night.
An upgrade would be energizing. And simply.
Now we got a bash button as well. We didn't have a bash button. Now we got a melee button. I just used to call it a bash button.
Putting down a fence.
Like this gun. This was perfect for my lag, this gun. Because he got a slower rate of fire, it was forgiven. It was forgiving. If I get lag, I'd freeze for a quarter of a second and my gun wouldn't move. So I'd lose 5 bullets, 7 bullets, depending on the rate of fire of the gun. If it was a 99, I'd lose about 8 bullets. And they'd just be wasted, like every clip. If I had a 301, I'd maybe waste 7, you know what I mean? Or 6, because of the lag, because of the freezes. So I use the flatline a lot, you know what I mean? And it's got a forgiving amount of rate of fire. So, you know, I can adjust and still have 10 bullets left, you know what I mean? So I'd start beaming somebody, and as soon as they move, I'd still be shooting there with like 7 or 8 bullets because of the lag that I was getting. You know what I mean? So I started using this gun. So a lot of people are going, why are you using the flatline, and that? Why are you using that? Why don't you use that? Because it's the rate of fire. It used to allow me to adjust, you know? So instead of wasting 7 here, I'd only waste, say, 4 or 5. So I'd have 2 bullets at the end to maybe get the one shot. You know what I mean? No one else was getting it. I was watching everybody else play, watching lots of streamers and watching lots of people's recordings. And they weren't getting what I was getting. So I had to find ways to play. So the flatline was perfect, you know? It's got a good bit of damage. The recoil is not great, but
No more resistance.
I'd
Time
always
for
have a
an
few bullets
upgrade.
left. Yeah, I'd only waste maybe 4 or 5 bullets instead of the 7 or the 8 on the 301. So as the game's a high time to kill, it's really important. Can't afford to lose bullets because you've got to reload or you've got to switch guns, and in that time they're shooting you back or their teammates are. Figure this out. That I wouldn't be able to do on controller. So this is something new I could add into my game. That's the thing, when you got your back to
Perhaps I should
somebody
select an
on
upgrade.
controller, you don't get that initial great hit. You get hits because of the aim assist, but you don't get that headshot-y shit, you know what I mean? Or you don't get that good shotgun shot. You might get a belly shot, but you won't get part of the headshot, you know, which you get that on mouse. So now I can start, like, adding some things into my games that were missing because I want on mouse, you know what I mean? That's a fucking aim assist shot, wasn't it? What the fuck? I got aim assist there, what the fuck? So naughty what they've added that into the game, haven't they? It's never break camera, innit? That is not smart. It's not going where I wanted it to. No! Might change. Can you change the color of this thing? I do struggle to not see the dot sometimes. I had a friend years ago. Obviously, people would cheat. They would put crosshairs, you know, naughty crosshairs on their screen. He'd use a piece of blue tack. He put a bit of blue tack in the middle of his screen because he was a sniper and he wanted to no scope. You know what I mean? So he could like see the middle of the screen.
An upgrade would be
Obviously, other people
energizing.
would just use custom crosshairs, which was cheating. I see that controller. I'd be right over there where I wanted to, and it's just done that sharp turn. Gotta get used to it. I want to break camera, but I want to do it. Slide into the box and get used to it, you know. So here, I don't want to be dead. I don't want to be dead here, you know, stood still. So I need that momentum, and I want to stop. I want to start my beam here, not here, because that's too late. I just got to get used to all that shit that I would already got used to on controller. I'm in the box, you know what I mean? Now I can hit the reload button, or I can, well, switch gun, whichever button's that one, and then I get back in, and you don't get away.
Without an upgrade,
Time and
I'm at a
space, all the time.
disadvantage.
Chess, baby. The game is chess. The ideal is not to take as much damage, then you can stay alive longer. My shoulder's hurting, so I can't swing my arm. Is there another way you can do it? Can you go? No. I'd have to crouch slide into it, wouldn't I? Can you jump these or not? Controller, that wouldn't have happened. Went sharp again. Fucking hell! Oh my gosh!
We should move here.
I don't know what button I press there. No.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade.
Oh, I've accidentally done that. No! Done it again. Controller, I'd be here. Be tucked in. Now it's just angled me and put me there. Put me in line of sight. My shoulder's aching.
I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm hacking. I always tell a cheater. I used to bait them out, see that? The hackers. I used to bait them out and get them to pre-fire. So I'd like do what he's doing, but I bait. So I do like, right, no he's cheating, I know you're cheating, I know you're cheating, I know you're cheating, or I'm trying to figure out if you are cheating. So I do that. Do you know they're watching you through a wall? Do you know what I mean? And then they would pre-fire, then you know you got a cheater. Then you'd play them all game long, yeah? You weren't going to beat this, you might not beat this team, so you've got to find another way of getting them. Yeah, so I'd like do that all game long to keep getting them to do it, and then I'd ask for their demo at the end of the game. And then if they don't fucking send it, I know they're definitely cheating. And if they send it, I can catch them sometimes, and then sometimes it's got to be blatant now, do you know what I mean? So I'd have to do that all fucking game just to bait the cheats out of the bastards. But that's what they would do. I had one player once, he was so fucking stupid, man. So I'm doing this, like, so I'm watching that way, yeah, right? I'm watching, he's not coming. Every time I would turn my gun, he would fucking start coming at me. And he was so stupid, man. The worst cheater I ever faced in my fucking life. I was just like, oh, dude, every time I turn my gun away, you're coming at me. Oh, dude, come on, man. Just fucking have some brain cells, mate, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean?
I should select an upgrade.
And again, I'd be here, see that? Then I could get my reload off out of line of sight. It's different. I gotta be. So yeah, I'd be more turns. So I can't turn so much. So I got to do more of a curve, like a banana shape on my mouse. Curve. Whereas controller, it's just so quicker. Like that. That felt a bit like controller. Oh shit. That's why I teach a lot of positioning for the cheaters. The cheaters will wait for one of you. So imagine I got a mini-map, top left-hand corner now, right? Okay? I got my teammate's pointer pointing forward. I got my teammate's pointer pointing that way. And I got my teammate's pointer pointing that way. A cheater will come between the back of us, yeah? Because we're not covering that space, yeah? So then you have the right angles so the cheaters can't get at you behind you. Because they will come when you point your pointer away. Do you know what I mean? They are cheaters. So I used to be very strict on our positioning and our controlling of space, because the cheater will find the hole in your defense and use it to exploit the moment to his favor. It's a sad world we live in, but hey, some people want to look good on the internet. Some people want to be able to make fun of other people because they're at a higher rank, or they're a higher ladder position, or they win the cup and they want to call you shit, you know? But that's the sad facts of this world. Do you know what I mean? And especially the sad facts of how internet is being used. Now you've got free to play games. At least back in the day, you had to spend 30 quid on a game. Do you know what I mean? So then they were costing them 30 quid, you know?
An upgrade would be energizing.
I think this game, any game that's got a rank, if it's free, great, you're giving a game for free. This is my mentality, right? If you've got a game that's going out for free, right? loads of people are going to play it. That's great for your game, yeah? And it's also shit easy for cheaters to just come in, cheat, learn how to play, and get another account and then play with all their knowledge of cheating. Or if they keep getting away with it, they never get known. Or if they want to cheat, they can just multiple change accounts. Do you know what I mean? And just keep changing accounts, you know what I mean? If you're playing like scrims and shit like that, and you'll never know they got banned. Do you know what I mean? So I think if a game is free to play, they should bring out something like, to play ranked at a certain rank, you have to pay. So that you have an, this ain't gonna happen, but this is what I would do. I don't like these ID things, but there should be like an online passport. It would be very safe for the human race to let's all have an online passport. Do you know what I mean? So then that would stop trolls, that would stop cheaters, that would stop abusers, that would stop the what did he call it? The fucking the weirdos, if you know what I mean. Because then no one can just use the internet. You'd have to have a passport for the internet. That is the only time that I would say about an ID. I'm not into the other stuff, and I don't want to make my channel into those conversations. All right? So there's a good way to stop cheating. Do you know what I mean? So have an online passport. So for gaming, do you know what I mean? If it's just for the game, you know, you got to have your an official email. You can't have a free email. So if you want to play high level for money and funds and all this, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 100 grand, you have to have an official email account to sign up with. You have to show your driving license, something, you know what I mean? So it shows that it is you, and then we'll always know who you are. So if you do cheat and you get caught, you know, you can't come back again. Do you get what I mean? That stops a lot of cheating. Why is it not in there? Why is it not out there, people? Eh? Why is it not out there?
Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
It's lush on there. There's no lag at all. Where is he? I'm cheating, see that? Little pre-fires from the cheaters, and you know they're cheating, the little fuckers. Yeah, right, so you got a bit of a better, right, let's change spots then. So what can we do here? How do we approach this angle? We could start... No, I know, right, out of line of sight. Okay, so we start there. We go in, and then we do that angle over. Yeah, and we break camera out. That is how you would approach that one. So you would get the little beam out of line of sight, in with that weird thing that gets me here, and then I'm breaking down. That's what I've got to create as a muscle memory now, because obviously it's different in controller. Approach, slide, and then that angle, but I'm not sure how you do it. I think I've got to flick the mouse. My shoulders hurting now, I don't want to move my mouse arm. It's a bit naughty, innit, that thing? I got to learn to bring that into my game. You can change these things, the colour. It's white for me. Right, I gotta quit. I'm done. I'll see you later if you're a tech. I gotta go, bud. I don't know who these people are. Sorry, I don't know who you are. I used to get an active stream years ago. And I used to get a lot of people come on. You know, get a couple of hundred a day, 300 a day. And with my name being miL's Tips, playing, I don't know how many games you would play in a day. 20 games a day, 30. So that'd be another 40 views. Well, not maybe 40, but 20 views. So that's a possibility of 5 subscribers, you know. So obviously, without my name being miL's Tips Live, I'm relying on YouTube showing me some viewers, which isn't really happening. Hence, we're going to go on TikTok. So we'll get some genuine views again. Oh, fuck my shoulder, man. It's fucked. Oh. Right. Practice. Don't cheat. Grind. Don't cheat. Never give up. Keep trying. Don't cheat. On that note, see you later. Have fun. Where's my fucking mouse? Which one is it? Oh, it's this one.